All right, Keith is back with your full check of the forecast. A little wild out there today. All kinds of different things.
Going on. It is raining really hard. Most of us have snowpack, so it's not draining too well either. You may notice that. And then we have the winds, which are just starting to kick up, and that'll be the story through the rest of the night, I think. So look at this. If this was a snow shield, it'd be like a great storm. It's just usually there's holes in precipitation shields, but there's just really not anything here. You see it close up over the last couple of frames there. So everyone is getting moderate or heavy rain across the state right now. The radar algorithm still thinks there's freezing rain, but there hasn't been even since noon today. It's just been cold rain that gets messed up by what the computer thinks is freezing rain because of the surface temperatures. Surface temperatures are all over the place too. We've into the 50s into Portland. We just got to 50 in Augusta as well, and all that wind is driving that warmer air onshore, but it's been a struggle in the mountains and foothills, much colder there. A lot of rain still to come here. That's why I zoomed out just to show you. Yeah, it's been raining hard pretty much all day, but it will continue to do so through most of this evening as well. That squall line starts to come through, and that's our best chance for those strong wind gusts. It's not a long period of time. Traditionally for these systems, you've got about an hour or so where you really have your best chance of strong winds. And it looks like it comes through between 7 and 10 o'clock here over southern and western Maine, 10 to midnight over the mid-coast, midnight to 2 a.m. into down east Maine. And once that line comes through, you'll notice it probably, unless you're, I don't know, you got noise canceling headphones on or something, but it will be raining hard and the wind will kick up at the same time. And it'll be that window when we're likely to see our strongest wind gusts. Behind that, it will still be breezy all night, but it won't be at the same intensity or even the same wind direction as we're going to see the strongest wind gusts, which will be out of the south. So here we are, 1, 2 o'clock, still really strong winds at Bar Harbor out to Eastport and Machias and Lubec. And then we move this thing out of here and we're finally quiet for a couple of days. We'll even throw some sunshine in there for good measure. So wind speeds maximum here, we're thinking 50 to 60 miles an hour in the shaded orange area, which just hugs the coastline down across southern coastal Maine. Gusts of 60 to 70 miles an hour possible, though, the mid-coast into down east Maine. We do include Bangor in that as well, and then lower gusts into the mountains and across northern Maine, just getting farther away from that wind source. Again, that'll be a southerly wind, the strong winds. The wind tonight after that chance will be northwest, so that's when you kind of know things have settled down when the winds turn. So power outage risk here, moderate, just kind of creeping up the coast through the early evening and then into the mid-coast around 10 o'clock. And you'll see it expand a bit here into down east Maine, just taking into account the wind direction being quite strong and the gusts being stronger over down east Maine. Although that's kind of offset a little bit by the fact that I found down east and the mid-coast to be fairly rugged when it comes to resilience to strong wind gusts. So the strongest wind gusts will be there. Could reduce the power outage risk a bit. So future rainfall, so in addition to what we already have, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, some models putting out 2 more inches of rain. So we could end up with some storm totals of 3 or so inches of rain. And we will see some flooding from that into the mountains and foothills. That'll be cresting tomorrow in a lot of cases. I don't think it'll be anything like what we saw last year around this time. Then we settle down. We will freeze things back up, though, in places that will have snowpack left over. It'll crust up pretty hard here. So one other thing that I was implored to mention by our newsroom was, some people are saying it's fairly icy. There's not actually ice coming down. There's no freezing rain left. What's happening is your snowpack is getting compressed by the rain, and under that is some ice, and then there's water on top of it. So it is a little something to think about tonight walking around, that it is slippery, even though the actual precip now is all rain.
Yeah. All right, watch where you're going. Yeah. Put the sand down, whatever you need. All right, thanks, Keith.